Okay, Manchester United Liverpool in the Women's Super League today is finished 2-1 to Liverpool. It was 1-1 at half time. Now, was this an entertaining game to watch as a neutral? Yes. Was this the best women's game of football I've seen technically? No. No, it wasn't. It was a very sloppy game by both sides. There was a lot of silly errors by both sides. There was a lot. The second half became very stop-start, and of course, there's that lengthy injury delay for a serious head injury to one of the Liverpool defenders. I think it's Boona. Absolutely poleaxed. Bad concussion. Serious head injury. Quite a bit of claret coming out of her head. She walks off rather than going off on the stretcher, but she didn't even know what day it was, I can tell you that. As having been concussed playing rugby and then trying to get up on Bambi legs, having had a concussion, I can tell you now, she would have, regardless, she subbed off straight away, but if there was an HIA test, she is not coming back to play. She'll be sidelined for a while. That was a nasty one. She was motionless on the floor for a lengthy period of time. It wasn't very nice to see, especially when the arms just go all rigid and it looks like they're trying to hug air. That's a sign. Not only have you been knocked out, you are having a grade 1 concussion, you are not playing for a good few weeks. On the playing side of things, Man United started like a freight train. Liverpool were all over the place, defensively shambolic. Ella Toon's goal comes from very chaotic defending. It's a bit of a scramble. There's a save in there. They've hit the post in there, and then the follow up, getting first to the ball, first to that rebound. It's what you wanted to see from attacking players, supporting that first attack, winning that second ball. But then Man United don't kick on. Liverpool are making all sorts of defensive errors. They're being sloppy, and Man United are having a lot of possession and a lot of ball in attacking areas, and they're not doing enough with it. And the danger is, and I always say this, it's all well and good having lots of possession and creating lots of chances. If you're going to have shots, try and get them on target. Try and challenge. I mean, they miss a sitter. As well in there. They could have had 2 or 3. They miss a couple of sitters. There's an open goal they miss where they put it in the side netting, which is embarrassing. But on a neutral standpoint, this is quite entertaining because you think there could be a lot of goals in here. There could be a lot of saves from the goalkeepers in here because Man United are also being sloppy themselves. But Liverpool haven't really got that cutting edge for the first 30 minutes. Then the Covisto, is it a Covisto goal? Is it a turnaround goal? Is there a handball in there? They score a goal on 32 minutes, and that sparks Liverpool into life. Man United have dominated the game for the first 32 minutes, only 1-0 up, and that's a dangerous place to be, is 1-0 or 2-0 when you're dominating. A 1 or 2 goal lead is a very, very dangerous thing. Very dangerous thing, and as Liverpool would find out in the second half when they take the lead. They couldn't really put the game to bed themselves, and they were sloppy in attack, Liverpool, in the second half after they get that lead. There's 12 minutes of added time because of the serious head injury. I think it's to Boona. And they have options to take on the goalkeeper Earps one-on-one, and they choose to place the corner. And I'm going mad at this, going, just back yourselves. They weren't backing themselves in attack. Now, Liverpool's record in the WSL away from home is shocking. So maybe there's a few nerves there that they haven't won away from home in quite a few games. They've lost quite a lot of games away from home. Very poor away record, lost 5 straight away from home. So maybe there's that lack of confidence in themselves away from home when they're in a winning position to be brave, possibly. But Man United kept giving them opportunities by being sloppy as well. The Taylor Hines goal from the corner in the second half, the goalkeeper, Earps, and she's a very good goalkeeper in the women's game, has decided to stay on the line. That is fine. If the keeper's decided to stay, then therefore the defenders have to deal with the cross, with the corner. They don't. And Hines is left unmarked, and that's a very, very good volley, basically. It's a very good volley finish. Because the goalkeeper has decided to stay on the line, your defenders have got to be facing outwards. They've got to be looking that way, outwards, not towards the goal. They're looking at each other. They're too passive. They've allowed a player to have a lot of space, and she scores. Now, Man United would continue to attack. Liverpool would continue to attack. Liverpool's attack, you can see there's a bit of lack of confidence away from home. As I say, they were playing towards the corners, and especially with all that added time, treat it as you've still got 12 minutes before 90. United were pushing forward. when they turn the ball over, they're very, very high. Liverpool have pace to get in behind. They're playing to the corners. That's a lack of confidence, I think, from Liverpool. Even though they're winning the game, that is a lack of confidence in themselves to back themselves to get that third. Clearly, they're fully aware that if they turn the ball over, defensively, they don't look very confident. They were a little bit shaky defensively, but they hold on. Man United were shaky defensively. Now, in previous games where I've seen these two sides play, I haven't been overly impressed with these two teams. Haven't. And I wasn't overly impressed with their defending and control, game management. Is a key thing. I will say this, the women's game has come on massively in the last decade from where it was when Liverpool last won the WSL. The women's game has improved massively in the last decade, especially in the last 5 years, with being fully professional and all that now. Admittedly, there's still a massive development curve that the women's game has to go through. But these two sides, when I've seen them earlier this season, I haven't been overly convinced with them in attack or defence. And I wasn't overly convinced with these two sides again today. Now, small sample size, I know, but Liverpool get that win. They break that losing streak away from home. And hey, they scored 2 goals against Man United, so they've tripled their goal tally against Manchester United since Manchester United have had a women's team. Man United, yeah, there's still a little bit of a gap between them and Man City, Chelsea, and Arsenal in the women's game. I wasn't overly convinced with them today. They didn't look completely at the races. Some sloppy defending. And they lost control of the game from a winning position. They should have put this game to bed within 30 minutes. They failed to do that. They became sloppy. They lost their intensity, and it cost them. So there we go. Liverpool have won 2-1 away from home. They've broken that losing away run, which they've had. They've lost 5 away from home in a row. They've snapped that losing streak. Man United, again, not overly impressed with them. A lot of possession, yes. Sloppy in front of goal. That has cost them. Liverpool needs to back themselves more in attack. They have a lot of pace. They have a lot of pace. They were getting a lot of joy down the wide areas. They need to back themselves a little bit more. I think that's more of a confidence issue. Away from home. At home, they have a much better record, but away from home, they look a little bit uncertain of themselves. Obviously, they're not the team that they were a decade ago. They are lower down the pecking order from where they were, but it was an entertaining game. But on a technical standpoint, I wasn't overly impressed with both sides with their game management, control, and some sloppiness there, which you wouldn't expect on really good playing conditions. It was dry. There wasn't rain or any bad weather, so I'd expected a little bit, better, control of the ball, better movement off the ball. There was some sloppiness. There were some pretty physical challenges as well. And of course, we've seen one of the Liverpool defenders carted off with a very serious head injury, which did delay the game and disrupted the flow of the game in the second half a little bit with that lengthy period of stoppage with injury time. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts on the game in the comment section below, and I'll have some more content for you very, very soon.